Hey there. Happy Sunday. I hope all is well with you. So I'm breezing by with a message because today is, of course, a tower moment for Tasha. So I have to put you up on game. So, one of the things I noticed in reflection of being a people pleaser is my biggest targets, if you will, for the pleasing was my children. Now, this is because of some things that happened to me in my childhood, not feeling seen and heard by my parents and stuff, by my mom. I just wanted to make sure they were heard, they were seen, and they were like my top priority. Okay. And I'm riding on this energy. And so I'm trying to please them as well. Because can you see all this that I'm doing for you and to make life great and just really shining a light on the things that I felt my mom wasn't doing, I guess. And this is all subconscious, you know what I mean? So um it's just this is the pattern that I'm creating with my children. And so do I get married, and from an outsider status, my husband has shared with me over the years some of the things that he felt was unfair treatment that I was receiving from the kids. But I was so focused on them in that mindset of people pleasing, and I didn't want to abandon them, or like I said, I wanted to make sure they were seen and heard, and well taken care of and stuff. Just filling in the spaces that I felt like I wanted filled in for me as a child, right? But now I look back and I'm like, I was okay. Like from this authentic standpoint. But in the people pleaser mindset, I see it's a lot of it's not good enough. You got to prove yourself. And so I was doing a lot, and I wasn't taking credit for all that I was doing. And I really wasn't as proud of myself as I should have been, because I really did accomplish a lot. Like a little girl growing up in the Baltimore City street in poverty, and I've been able to really expand my family in some great ways. And my children have been like my number one motivation for that. So when they do things, I basically give you their ass to kiss as they growing in life and shit. I understand we all go through what we go through, but you don't have to disrespect the people or the person that's been there for you since day one, especially when you have absentee parents. And I've been the one who's been here every wake up. Like, I haven't missed one. Why would you mistreat me? But because I had been mistreated in the past, in previous relationships and friendships and stuff, and even with my own mom, I had become accustomed to that type of unfair treatment. It was just the way people were towards me, right? I'm seeing all of this now, and I felt it then, but I couldn't see it with the clarity that I have now. And so what happened was, it was like I was pushing my husband's words aside and just continuing to focus my energy on my children. And now I'm at a point where I can see where he was right. And I honestly have to say I'm grateful. I'm like so blessed and the luckiest girl in the world, because he adapted to the environment. Because his anger could have very well had him to leave me, and he's been the only one that's been in my corner since we met. Like, I'm just being real open and transparent. Like, he's the reason why I am where I am today, is because of his love for me. Because I wondered, like, wow, if he loved me so much, why don't I love me this much? And so he's been the catalyst for my journey this whole time, and I'm so grateful for him. And so it's like just really seeing it for what it is. I love my children, but I love me first. And I love my husband next. Like, he has my back just like I have his back. And he never gave me his ass to kiss. you know. So I'm just saying this to women, like, especially for like women in that people pleasing pattern, like black women in the people pleasing pattern. Like, really, like, if you feel like your man is coming at you about how your kids are treating you, but you too are pushing it away, like, step back. Like, take an objective look, take your feelings out, pray to God, ask God to help you to see things with clarity, because he might be right. He might be seeing and knowing your worth more than you do. And so if you know you have a great guy who's in your corner, like he don't push none of the red flag buttons. Like, he's not a cheater. He comes home every day. He do everything he can to make you happy. Like, you know you have a real winner with him. It's worth it to review, because you just likely been in a pattern that you don't know how to get out of. And I didn't either. And I was talking to God, and he was like, just pray for help. Like, that's how you find your way out. You can't figure it out because you've never been in that situation. So you can pray and ask for help for the whole thing, because it gets scary. It's like, oh my God, am I going to stop loving my kids? How is this going to go? Like, I've really been going through it this weekend, but I see that everything will be just fine. For real. I just needed to create a new relationship with my children, but it has to start with me and what my requirements are, what my boundaries are, and so forth, because I can't keep moving on the way I was doing, because they kept hurting my feelings too much. They kept breaking my heart. So it's like, how do I do this differently? And I know I've said and I've spoken from the side of the children who have been done wrong by parents, but man, I'm seeing now some of the parents get done wrong too, and they be genuine people. It ain't always the parent. Sometimes, the kids, they have their own experiences, and especially if you linked up with a narcissist to make them, it's possible that those narcissistic traits thrive in your children. Okay, so you just have to look at it, because at the end of the day, no, you don't want to lose your person who is for you, but you don't want to continue to be mistreated. And it's really a matter of teaching them how to treat you now, because you love yourself and value yourself more. So I share on a personal note, because that's how I know to communicate. I just like to get it down to the simplest of facts and what it is, so we can see these things, these patterns that have been created way before us. So it's not like, I'm dumb or I did this wrong. No, it's a matter of recognizing it, and we talk about it, and we make change together, so that we don't have to be bitter about it. We don't have to, we can do this with love, because that's what it is. Like, I love myself so much that I want to have great relationships all around me. And so I have to do some hard things sometimes, take some hard looks, take accountability, and do all that stuff, so I can see where I need to make change. Because I believe it will overall work for my overall family. You know what I mean? Like, I think the whole unit, sometimes things have to fall completely apart and crumble me, so that it can be rebuilt on a solid foundation. And that's what we're looking to do when we're breaking these chains. We are letting go of those old patterns that keep us separated from each other. And then we are being guided to come together in healthy ways, functional ways that are lasting. And one of the ways I'm contributing to that change is by showing up and sharing my story. So I hope this is helpful. And I'm using this story to alchemize the energy for me and my husband, because, throughout the years, we haven't seen eye to eye on the treatment of the children. So it created anger and stuff like that. But now it's like they grown, and let's get that old thing back, like what we had before and where it started, and it can be so fresh, but just really right sizing and categorizing everybody where they need to be, and prioritizing my life, not based on it being solely based on my children, but based on me and my overall happiness, and returning the energy that is given to me. That's where I'm at with it all now. And I feel really good about it. I do. I feel really good, and I feel good to share, because I know that these are things that we don't normally talk about. It's like Black people, like, no, don't tell your business, don't this, because you want to present a certain way. You want to give your representative and make everybody think you okay. And that's why we fucked up, because we ain't talking about the shit that we not okay. And when you do, you ostracize for it. Why you talking about that? Why you saying that? Because we need to. It's fucked up. We keep dealing with it, and we're not changing it, because we're not talking about it. And I'm over that. Like, tenfold over that. So that's why I offer up the transparency and the vulnerability that I do here in hopes that it will be contagious. I really do. So I'm going to go ahead and chat and see what else this day has to offer. I hope all is well with you and that this message is helpful. I love you.